In this brief tutorial, I'm going to walk you through how to create and configure delayed openings, early closures, and all-day closures within the Avigilon Access Control Manager. Before we get started, there are some prerequisites. You'll need working knowledge on how to configure the following: schedules, policies, groups, global actions, job specifications, and maps and dashboards. The first step in the process is you have to identify the types of closures and delays that are needed by the customer. In my sample environment that we're going to cover today, I have a few doors on my system that normally are unlocked Monday through Friday between the hours of 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. So I've identified three types of things that I'm going to need to configure: a 2-hour delayed start, a 2-hour early closure, and an all-day closure. Now, one of the most important parts of creating these for our customers is that they have to be configured in a manner that make it easy for them to implement these types of delays and closures on the fly as the decisions are being made real time. So this example that we're going to show is going to show you how to give them that type of functionality. So let's go take a look. Okay, so now that we've identified the types of delays and closures that we need, we now have to go into the Access Control Manager and configure them, and also configure it for ease of use. So the first step of the process is you want to create your custom schedules, right? So I have two custom schedules that I created. One's for a 2-hour early closure. And as I mentioned earlier, in my environment, I have a subset of doors that unlock Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. So here's my doors. I have 4 of them, and they're already in an unlocked state because it's a standard Monday through Friday. The first one that I want to create is a 2-hour early closure. That's in the event that maybe I have a snow event, or I have some sort of weather-related event, or a reason, some other reason. I don't want to be open past 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So I set this up Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, starts at 8 a.m., ends at 1500. The next one that I want to create is a 2-hour late opening. So we're delayed coming inbound to work. So Monday through Friday starts at 10 a.m. instead of 8 a.m. and ends at 1700. So I need those two custom schedules in scan mode to be ready when I go apply them to the appropriate policies. The next step is to go over to here and create 3 policies. I need 3 policies that mimic the 3 delays / closures that I identified earlier. So I create a policy for 2-hour early closure, one for a 2-hour late opening delay, and one for a business closure. So let's take a look at all 3. Also, please note they are not installed / turned on, because that's what we're going to do when we need them. We'll turn them on. So let's take a look at our 2-hour early closure. It is a door policy. So we click on Mercury, and the main thing that we want to do is set up our door functions, set up our custom mode for unlocked, and then apply the 2-hour early closure schedule to that. The second policy that we want to do is our 2-hour late opening delay. Again, a door policy. Click on the Mercury tab, set that up as well. Make sure your custom mode is unlocked, and it's a 2-hour late opening schedule that we're using. So it's that late open schedule that we created. And then lastly is our business closure. We're not opening for business at all today. We're closed for the whole day. Again, a door policy, and a little bit different here. We are going to set it to card-only mode for custom mode, and we're going to set all of our doors to 24 hours active. I also suggest that you check the priority box. If there happens to be some other override that's been scheduled, or a job specification that's been scheduled to open maybe a door, one of those 4 doors in the group, you want to make sure that when this is in priority mode, nothing can override the decision to close the business for the day. So that priority will stop any other unknown schedules from actually running and opening a door when it shouldn't be. The next step in the process is we got to marry those policies up with the group of doors we're trying to affect. So I created a group. It's called Delayed Open Early Close Closed Door Group. And I've associated all 3 policies to those 4 doors that I have that routinely unlock Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Now, you could create a separate group and policy marriage for each one of these, but as you can see, I tried to pick the easiest way to do it, so I put all 3 and associated all 3 to all the doors. They don't do anything until you turn on that policy, you install the policy. If you install the 2-hour early closure, it affects all these doors. If you turn on the 2-hour late opening, it affects all those doors. And if you turn on the business closure, it will affect all those doors. Once you've got your groups and your policies done, the next step in the process is to create the global actions. And you're going to need 4 global actions for these 3 policies. All 4 of them, all they do is install and uninstall a policy. So let's take a look at the all-day business closure. All this simple global action says is I want you to install the policy called business closure, i.e., I want you to turn that on. So if and then the next step is to just do the same thing to install the 2-hour delay, and then the last one is we have to reset these back, right? We don't want them turned on and then the next day when we come in, we find that it's still on a 2-hour delay. We need them to reset at a specified time every day. So the next step is to uninstall or send an uninstall command every day to all 3 of those policies. And then obviously you want to create a global action for the 2-hour delay and then the 2-hour early closure. Once those are completed, the next step in the process is to create a map or dashboard where you can apply those to make it quick and easy for the customer to implement those changes on the fly. So I've created a map in my system. It's a simple display that says delay and closure, and I added the global actions to it and posted them in the appropriate place for each one. So when the customer needs to implement these, they simply come in and go to monitoring, go to maps, pull up the delays and closures map, which is a simple dashboard. And if they press the 2-hour delayed start, it'll turn on the policy for 2-hour delay start. If they push the button for the 2-hour early closure, they'll get the 2-hour early closure. And if they push the button for all day closure, it will implement a closure of all those doors. So I've just implemented that. So let's take a look at our doors. I don't have any more doors that are unlocked. All 4 of those doors went back to their normal state. If I hit the reset button, it's going to implement a reset, turning off all those policies. And there's my doors, and they're all unlocked again. So the very last step of this process is if they turn on a 2-hour delay, whether that's early closure or late opening or an all-day closure, we need it to reset at the end of every day so that the next day it doesn't keep doing the business closure or the 2-hour delay. So what you need to do last is go up to My Account, go into the job specification, and set up a daily reset. So if we go in and take a look at this, it's very simple. It's called Delays and Closures, Global Action. It's a 2-hour delay closure reset. That's the global action that I'm doing. I don't have any off global action. I hit next. I tell it to do this every day. So I can say daily, and I can say do it at 17:01 every day. Hit next. It's going to say, are you sure you want to do this? You submit it. Once it's submitted, the last thing you have to do is go up, highlight it, and activate it. Once it's activated, every day, in this case, I have it set up right now at 17:05. It's going to run the global action and make sure that all those policies are turned off. So that's it. I mean, it's a real simple way to give your customers the ability to do 2-hour delays, early closures, all-day closures from a simple interface as easy as opening up a map.